to me, that sounds like someone who came here determined to mess things up, and she's still helping to mess things up now.
Royal biographer Angela Levin says Meghan Markle has always been determined to mess things up as the Duchess' old blog post resurfaces. A newly resurfaced blog post from Meghan Markle's lifestyle blog, The Tig, revealed she interviewed Middle Eastern royalty and discussed Kate Middleton in 2014. In the blog, Meghan wrote about how little girls dream of being princesses and how grown women retain this fantasy. Little girls dream of being princesses. I, for one, was all about Chiara, Princess of Power. And grown women seem to retain this childhood fantasy. Chiara is a fictional superhero character from the Masters of the Universe TV series. Meghan then referenced the global spectacle of Kate's wedding to Prince William. Just look at the pomp and circumstance surrounding the royal wedding and endless conversation about Princess Kate. The post appears to contrast with Meghan's recent public statements that she was largely unaware of the royal family before meeting Prince Harry. In the couple's 2021 sit-down with Oprah, Meghan insisted, "I didn't do any research into the monarchy and never looked up my husband online." Meghan Markle claimed in a 2017 BBC X interview after their engagement that being American meant she didn't know much about Prince Harry.
Trying to introduce you, was she trying to set you up?
Yes, it was definitely a setup. It was a blind date.
It was a blind date,
and,
for sure.
and it's so interesting because we talk about it now, and even then, because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family, and so while I now understand very clearly there's a global interest there, I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense.
In the couple's Netflix docuseries last year, Meghan dramatically compared her first curtsy to the late Queen to a U.S. medieval-themed restaurant chain.
Now I'm starting to realize this is a big deal. I mean, Americans will understand this. We have medieval times, dinner and tournament. It was like that. Like I curtsied as though I was like... Pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Was that okay?
The blog post reinforces claims made by Meghan Markle's childhood friend Nanaki Pretty that she had a long-standing interest in the royal family before meeting Prince Harry. In 2018, Pretty told a British tabloid that Meghan was always fascinated by the royal family. She wants to be Princess Diana 2.0. Ms. Levin told GB News host Dan Wooten the resurfaced blog post shows Meghan always intended to mess things up at the palace.
Meghan, interestingly enough, people found extract from her Tig, which what diary that she kept before she met Harry, and she said she wants to be a royal rebel, and she wants to be not like Kate. She wants to be strong princess. And to me, that sounds like someone who came here determined to mess things up, and she's still helping to mess things up now.
After stepping down from their royal duties in 2020, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have used several commercial projects to criticize the royal family. The Sussexes have monetized their royal status through ventures such as a Netflix docuseries and Prince Harry's recently released memoir, Spare. Last week, Harry and Meghan attended the wedding vow renewals of their Montecito neighbors Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. It was at the event the Duke and Duchess of Sussex met Los Angeles venture capitalist Adam Lilling, Page 6 reports. Lilling has been dubbed one of the top dealmakers of 2022 by The Hollywood Reporter. The entrepreneur works with A-list clients such as Matthew McConaughey, Cameron Diaz, and Nicole Kidman and has counted Ellen and Portia among his celebrity clients for years. The couple reportedly hired the Hollywood dealmaker to increase their earning potential, particularly after the success of Spare, which became the fastest-selling non-fiction book ever. Sky News Australia contributor Megyn Kelly questioned why the Sussexes were invited to the intimate event and criticized Ellen's popularity. Former talk show host Ellen DeGeneres fell from grace in 2020 over allegations she fostered a toxic work environment.
They were about as close to Ellen as Oprah was to them when they invited her to their wedding. This is what they think about, like, my wedding, we had, I think, 140 people. It was all people who I knew intimately, who I had had many social experiences with, or my husband had, or both. Who invites some random celebrity to their wedding or their vow renewal? It speaks as poorly of Ellen as it does of them. And by the way, it's not like Ellen is some hugely popular celebrity anymore here in the United States. People loathe her. She turned out to be a massive bully to all the people on her set. Follow the thread. She was reported to not look people. She didn't want the staffers to look her in the eye when they walked by her in the hallways. She would only deal with only the top executives. She didn't want people speaking to her. Does that remind you of anybody? Yes, similar reports about Meghan Markle bullying her staff and thinking she was better than the little people. No wonder they got the invite.